Hey everyone, and today we're taking a look at Nendoroid Osamu Miya from the beloved series Haikyuu, and it is one of my favorite anime stories of all time. It's one of those shows that has been with me for a long time, and it's still going now, so it's something to look forward to. And yeah, I have to admit that when the Miya twins were introduced and Inarizaki was introduced, I was hyped. The boys are finally at the level that we all wish they were, and now we just get to see them face these amazing teams. And with these amazing teams comes amazing characters, and the twins were definitely all the hype when that season came out. That being said, we're here to take a look at the Nendoroid, so we're gonna do that, and I'll just get my opinions out right now because I've taken a look at this figure already. He's not as good as his brother, but a part of that has to do with maybe the character. So let's start with the box, and the box looks like every Nendoroid box. However, there's this nice volleyball embossed design right here, and on the side right here. But other than that, it's just a Nendoroid box. You got Orange Rouge up here, 5th anniversary of Orange Rouge being around. Pictures all over the side. It's a nice plain color for the character. So let's just get a look at him. Okay, and so first impressions of this guy, yeah, Orange Rouge does an amazing job when it comes to their Haikyuu boys, or all the boys that they make, and a lot of the love goes into their hair sculpts and their hair shading. Now, I'm not sure you can see all of it on camera, but there is this subtle shading that appears in almost each strand of hair, and the sculpt is beautiful. I believe it's just an opposite copy of his brother's, but it's still beautiful here, and I think with this color, they needed to pay special attention to the shading to make it pop out. He's got this undercut hair design, which looks pretty nice. Now, Osamu is a character that we didn't get to see a lot of because he's a little bit soft-spoken, he's introverted, which I relate to quite a bit, but because of that, we didn't get to see a bunch of who he was. He's basically the antithesis of Atsumo, but getting back to the Nendoroid design, all the things that I said about that first boy remain here. I love the design, I love the striking black jersey, the cute little shoes, and the proportions are pretty solid. He's a little baby body-ish, but it is an Nendoroid, so that is something that's pretty typical. And all Haikyuu boys come with this special base, which, if you collect enough of them, can combine and make a whole volleyball court where you can put a bunch of Nendoroids on here and make a whole big scene. I'm not sure which part of the court this is supposed to be. I believe it's probably supposed to be close to the net because he's a spiker, but that's that. He comes with the extra neck peg just in case yours breaks. And he comes with a smaller stand which will interact with the volleyball accessory, which we'll get to. I should also mention that his stand is not the typical Nendoroid stand because he can jump so high. They've given you an extra arm of support here, which really, yeah, almost a Nendoroid height off the ground. But let's get into his expressions and see what he's all about. Starting with the faces, and what can I say? It's a good representation of the character, but it's not overly interesting in any way. It's got this sort of bored expression on, which is similar to the character. The eyes look really good, the Haikyuu eyes. I think the eyes are actually very striking, especially with the color matching the hair. But yeah, nothing too exciting here. Pretty standard, normal, default face. We get to this second expression here, and this is full of life, and I love this expression because it perfectly sums up how he feels about his brother 90% of the time. And at first, these lines kind of were distracting for me. I thought it would look better without the lines, but I do like the animated nature of it. I love that the shine of the eyes is gone, as he is in pure disgust, and also the mouth, the open mouth teeth thing's done pretty well. So, quite like this one, possibly my favorite, but let's get into that third one. And this third expression shows how much Orange Rouge cares about getting a character done, even if the character's not overly interesting. So what we have here is a character that is chewing on something, and that might just look similar to the first one, right? The eyes look kind of similar, they're looking off to the side a little bit, the mouth has a different design. However, turning these to the side, and you can see that on this faceplate, you can actually see a bulge in his cheeks on both sides, which does enhance the effect a lot. And this actually brings this Nendoroid up quite a bit, in my personal opinion, in being a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And this little detail right here makes this figure so much better than I had expected. They could have easily just added this little munchy face right here, put it on a face like this, move the eyes off askew a little bit and call it a day, but no, this whole face has a different chubby cheek nature to it, and it is adorable. So the faces, first one fits the character, second one probably my favorite, the third one just shows all the love and care put into this. So let's move on to those accessories. Alright, so speaking of accessories, and let's start off with articulation. Now there's no joints in here, so he articulates at the shoulder, swivel at the hips, and his legs can move back and forth, and if you rotate this side to side. But he does come with various arms and leg pieces to get any Haikyuu volleyball pose you may need. So let's get into it. And starting with the base figure, and he comes with straight arms and straight legs. Pretty boring, but it can be great if he's just standing by the side of the court, looking at some other character doing something else, but nonetheless, pretty standard, pretty default. He comes with two bent arms with two different shoulder pieces that angle out a bit more, and you can take the arms off of the shoulder pieces, so you have more options there. But here's a comparison about how much that shoulder goes out now. Here's the bent arm, here's the straight arm. And here's both bent arms. And I actually really like this pose. It makes him look focused. It makes him look like he is one of the leaders of the team. And if you had a bunch of volleyball boys in a huddle, he looks like he's the captain. Which, I don't know, I just like this kind of look. Obviously, you can move this up. You can make him going for some sort of spike. Have him flying through the air. But, yeah, I quite like these. It's a powerful stance. It is actually just a power stance, so there's that. Then he comes with a pair of eating hands. His right hand has some chopsticks, and this left hand has a bowl of rice or something, some meal he's made. These are adorable, and they don't come with the shoulder pieces, so you will have to replace them with one of the other ones. Alright, and here we go, eating his meal before or after the game. He loves to eat, and it's just another little detail that brings this character to life. If this was just a volleyball character with just arms and a volleyball, it would have been okay, but this little added character design, especially again with the faceplate that I love, it just does so much for a character that doesn't speak a lot. So I love this. I love this little pose he's in right now, and this is probably my favorite look for him. If you're going to be displaying the Haikyuu boys, you're either going to have them in action, or you can have them doing something character specific, like being really loud, jumping around, or in this case, being peaceful and eating your meal. I love this. It also looks like that bowl of rice can come out of his hand. There's a little peg right there, so you can use it as an accessory on a table or something. So that's always nice. His last arm is a straight arm with him palming this volleyball. The volleyball can come off and be used on that other stand we talked about. And this is good for one of those generic volleyball posters like you'd see in a high school or something. It's, photo perfect, if you will. And again, I don't know how he's palming that with his hand. That's really impressive. Little Nendoroid baby hand. But, yeah, there you go. Getting to the last of his accessories, and these are the last of his accessories, he comes with two bent legs, which helps hit the action poses quite a bit. Here's a little action pose. You can see him jumping up in the air, getting that ball. Here's the bent legs. It just kind of adds to the overall form of the pose. It's definitely necessary. If these were straight legs, it would look quite odd. But here we do get to the problem with this Nendoroid, and it's that I do like the three expressions that he comes with, but they don't complement the actual sport of volleyball that well. I guess this one works, but it is the only one that works, and he just looks so uninterested that it kind of takes me out of the Haikyuu hype just a little bit. If you ignore the fact that he's chewing on some food right now, I do kind of like that his eyes are askew in this. It makes it look like he's watching the ball come to him right here, but yeah, these faces don't actually captured the volleyball hype that well. Maybe you could have this one. He's just so disgusted in the set that he was just given by his brother, but again, not the best. And here's that smaller stand we were talking about before. Here's the volleyball. Just goes in something like that. And now you can set this volleyball in action. Alright, so at the end of the day, we got through his accessories, we got a closer look at the actual figure, and there's a lot of great detail in here. There's a few accessories that I think go above and beyond for the character, but overall, yeah, he's not as good as his brother. He's not one of the strongest Haikyuu Nendoroids that I've ever experienced, and unfortunately, I think part of that is my bias towards the character. And I relate to this character. I'm an introvert. I don't like talking. I like to eat while people are conversing. So it is just, it's just unfortunate that I think this Nendoroid is solid for the character, but as a Nendoroid, he's not the most flashy. He's not really going to stand out on your shelf, but he does come with a few accessories here and there that do him justice. That's really my final thoughts, I guess. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this one of your favorite characters? Do you have him? Are you getting him just because you have his brother? That's also another thing. I don't think that they were lazy with this, but I do think that if you get his brother, you're probably going to pick this one up, and they didn't have to go as hard when it comes to the faces or the other accessories. For instance, I would have liked maybe an effect piece for this ball. He is a spiker, so if he does hit it, it's going to be hit pretty hard, and it just would have been nice to have a little bit of flair when it comes to that. But that's that. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like this video, consider liking or even subscribing. It truly helps the channel out quite a bit. Stay tuned for more content, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.